Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we're a little bit later again today because the balance patch teaser has dropped for the nerfs and buffs that will be going live tomorrow. And as you can see by this image, there are a ton of changes. 16 buffs are going to be happening. Pretty much all the really bad quests, I think 6 of them or 5 of them, 6 or 5 of them are getting buffed, and a lot of cards are getting nerfed. Although I gotta say, the list should probably be longer. We'll talk about that at the very end. But yeah, we'll go through all the cards that will be getting changed. We don't know the actual changes yet. We just know the cards. We'll have the patch notes tomorrow, and we'll go over the finalized changes then. But it's always fun to speculate what are the changes going to be, and also, you know, prepare for all that. So if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like, as you'll want to stay tuned for when those patch notes go live and we see all of these changes. So I have loaded up the cards that will be getting hit, starting off with nerfs. So guiding figure getting nerfed for Deathlight has been very strong in Starship DK, right? Starship DK has been very popular and good. And so if you're looking to nerf this card, it's either going to be the mana cost, going to like 3 mana, or you're hitting the stats. And the effect is definitely the best part of this card. So if they want to significantly nerf it, maybe it goes to 3 mana, maybe it goes to 4 mana. And if it gets moved up a mana cost, it's a lot less likely to spawn from your 3 mana Starship, right? Because this is a 2-drop, so that could be pretty significant. So we'll see if that's the change that they go for. Brittlebone Buccaneer, again, another really prominent card in most Deathlight decks. Just really strong. You play this on 2, it's really hard to kill, right? It's a 1/4. So there's, again, 2 ways you could go about nerfing this card. Either make it more expensive, so, you know, your opponent has more time to react to it, or knock a health off. So at 3 health, a lot of cards all of a sudden can kill this, and you can't really tempo it nearly as easily, making it, you know, a lot worse. So I would expect one of those 2 things. Sock Puppet Slither Spear, they're hitting Demon Hunter, best class in Hearthstone right now, even over Paladin, and the aggressive decks love this card. It's a 3 health 1-drop with scaling with your attack is pretty insane. Again, your options, make it 2 mana or make it a 1/2, make it a little bit more vulnerable to be killed. I really don't see many other options than that. Bullhog getting nerfed, not Ravenous Fellhunter. And I will say, I feel like Ravenous Fellhunter should be on this list. Sure, you nerf Bullhog, they'll either make it 5 mana so Ravenous can't get it, or it'll deal less damage, they'll nerf the stats or something, right? But you'll just play Ravenous and Ball of Tar, or whatever it's called, right? That's all it's gonna happen. It's gonna be the same pattern, so I don't love it. But yeah, Bullhog, its time has come up, and we'll see what the change is, but I expect it to, basically any change to this card feels like it won't be playable, because it's like, not, to me, it's not amazing. It's the other stuff around it that's really good. As nobody is surprised on this one, Lo the Living Legend being nerfed, I assume going to 8 mana, right? That's what they do. The Murmur, the Dungar treatment, right? You could go, your minions cost 5 this game, but not less than 5. That's what I would do, but we'll have to see if they just bump it to 8. But my prediction, they bump it to 8, right? Paladin, obviously really good outside of just Murlocs. So Imbue and Drunk Paladin, they're not hitting Imbue or Drunk Paladin that hard again, which I think is a mistake. I think Flickering Lightbot should have been nerfed in this patch, but it's not. Aegis of Light will be. So 1 mana Imbue, you get the 1-cost minion. The only thing you can really do is make it 2 mana, or just make it 1 mana Imbue and no minion, right? So you have nothing to target with it. That could be something. So more likely than not, this is going to 2 mana. If it goes to 2 mana, maybe you get a random Doomsayer to go. I mean, a 2-cost minion to go with it, right? That's a possibility. But yeah, I imagine one of the 2, right? We'll see what happens. Next, we have Murloc Paladin. They are not nerfing the quest. I was thinking that would happen because, again, it keeps falling in win rates, but they are double tapping it. They're going to nerf 2 Murlocs instead of nerfing the quest. The first Murloc, being Hot Spring Glider, the 3-mana 2/4, Battlecry, your next Murloc costs 2 less, Kindred against Divine Shield. You either make this more expensive, have less health, or you make the mana cheat less. One of those options, I guess. Not sure which one you hit. I would like to see the mana cheat go down, you know me and mana cheat, but if I had to guess, probably goes to 4 mana, but even at 4 mana that you play your, I guess you can't like curve into your 6-drop if it goes on 3 or on 4 mana, right? So that could be pretty good if they do that, or if they hit the mana cheat, right? It costs 1 less, and you can't hit your 6-drop unless you have like a coin or something. So we'll see, but yeah, one of the best cards in the deck, if not the best card out there. And then yes, they are double tapping. They're hitting a neutral card. Brain Gill. We all thought Brain Gill would get nerfed one day, right? Probably not. But yes, the 2-mana 2/1 Murloc where you give your other Murlocs card draw. I could see it just saying like give all other friendly minions Death Rattle draw a card so it doesn't draw a card itself. Or you just make it 3 mana, right? Slow it down. I don't know what else you're really doing. Yeah, no Murloc quest nerf, and I expect a lot of people to be mad about that, not only because they don't like the quest, but also because their deck is getting nerfed and they can't disenchant the legendary. They just get 2 commons nerfed. So dust-wise, that one really stinks. Next, we have the Ever-Burning Phoenix. This was banned in Wild, and according to the teaser, will be unbanned in Wild, which means it's getting reworked, right? This card has been a problem in Cycle Rogue. It was a problem in Wild with Knife Juggler. I imagine it gets the Dreadsteed treatment, where basically at the end of turn, it'll return to your hand, right? So you can't constantly replay it. You can play it for 0, but you have to wait till the next turn to play it for 0 again. That would be my guess, because that would stop, well, the Knife Juggler combo, right? That would stop that in Wild, and it would stop for where you're playing it with, Twisted Web Weaver, and then just replaying it over and over in one turn, drawing your whole deck. This will be an impactful nerf, right? Like, it's not going to be a minor one, otherwise they wouldn't unban from Wild, so it pretty much has to be a rework on the card. Brain Masseuse getting nerfed for Priest. They're really dialing back some of these early game aggression cards. 1 mana 2/4 Undead Pirate. I imagine it goes to a 2/3. You can make this 2 mana, but then it's unplayable. You'd have to make it like a 3/6 or something. I don't know. I just imagine a 3/4 or a 1/4, sorry, a 2/3 or a 1/4. It would be one of the others, but this will be a major impact, not only in Standard, but Wild, where this sees a lot of play in Wild Pirate decks and Priest, and I believe Demon Hunter. We also see a nerf to Wilted Shadow. This is one of the newer cards from the expansion, but it's enabled like this OTK deck that is just like every other OTK deck. You just stall a lot, and then boom, you Wilted Shadow and you bring it back with like the 3 mana res spell and deal like insane amount of damage potentially, and it's already up in like a tier 2 deck. Like with everything else getting nerfed, it could probably be an issue. So again, not sure how you address it. I feel like this just shouldn't attack if you're at full health. Like you should actually need to be healed, so they could change the mechanic that way. They could take some attack away to take the lethality of it, because you make it 8 or 9, it's not the biggest deal in the world because you just res it. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, this is one of the newer cards that is getting nerfed. And again, it's funny, they make these OTK cards, they're good, and they nerf them right away. It's like, why do we keep doing this? I just don't know. Murmur getting hit again. This card, the bane of my existence. I can't stand it. It already went from 6 to 7. We could be going from 7 to 8. I would prefer give it the Narlax treatment, where your first Battlecry minion costs 1, then immediately dies. You could bump it back to 6 if you want, where it's just a one-time effect. But this card is nothing but problems at higher legend. It's so frustrating. And if they're dialing back all these aggressive things, then Murmur would just take over. So they're preemptively hitting this one, although it's already like tier 2 at like top 1k. But yes, Murmur getting hit again, and that has wild ramifications as well in Shutterwalk Shaman. And yes, as everybody predicted this year, Menagerie Jug will be getting nerfed. Yet another card that got buffed that will be getting nerfed. I imagine it just goes back to what it was, +2/+2 to all your other, the 3 minions on the board. That's where it started at. I don't know what else you're doing. You can make it 6 mana, but overall, just put it back to where it was. So I believe, yeah, that is all the nerfs. I will say I'm concerned about quite a few that aren't on this list. Amir Tristle is one of the best cards in Standard right now. Huge outlier. I feel like that should have been hit. Arcanite Defense Crystal / Ancient of Yore. Those armor cards, they're not going anywhere. everywhere. So Wheel of Death Warlock, Starship DK still, the armor stacking stuff is not leaving, and I feel like that's a problem. As I mentioned, Ravenous Fellhunter, I feel like easily could have been on here, as well as the Colossus for Mage, because if the lethality is going down with all the early game decks, then people just play Protoss Mage and nuke all the quest decks, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like they should have been a bit more bold with the nerfs. If they're going to hit everything, and those are missing. So I'm a bit worried about that. Obviously, we'll see what the changes are, how everything plays out, but those are the nerfs that I'm concerned aren't on there. On to the buffs, and we have a lot of quests. So Reanimate the Terror will be getting changed. I will say some of the teasers showed the accompanying 5-drop that you play or your reward. So this one didn't, so I assume the reward itself will not be getting buffed, which means you're either lowering the requirement, right? Spend 15 corpses, 12 corpses, something like that, or they're like taking a rune away so you can play it more flexibly. But yes, this will be getting buffed, as will a lot of other quests. Unleash the Colossus. Again, they only showed the quest in the teaser image, meaning probably the requirement going down again from 15 to maybe to 12 to 10. Get it done a little bit faster. Get the 2 damage stacking done a little bit quicker. So yeah, I don't know what else you can really do other than that, right? Like that's all you can really do. So that's probably what's going to happen. For Hunter, again, they don't show the reward, just the quest. So I'm assuming that they're taking one of these off, like 1, 3, and 5 attack beast, or as one of my viewers had said, it's play a 1, 3, 5, and 7 attack minion, right? Not a beast, but it kills the flavor. Don't love that, but I don't know what else you're really doing. If it's just the quest, there's not much more you could do other than take a requirement away or make it not beast. So again, we'll find out tomorrow. Same with the priest quest. They only show the priest quest, and I think there's only one possible change, right? Cast 4 holy spells, cast 4 shadow spells, making it 2 less spells overall. You could go 3, but that seems way too easy, right? That's 1 drink for just to get the shadow done alone. So yeah, I imagine it'll go to 4, but again, we'll find out tomorrow. The rogue quest as well getting buffed, and I believe the image is only for this. So shuffle cards in your deck 4 times, make it a little bit quicker. I don't know what else you can really do other than making it quicker. That is the main problem with it, right? Like the shuffle cards are so terrible that you don't want to play very many. So getting it done quicker would help a ton. The one that they actually showed the token that you'll get, they showed not only the quest for Spirit of the Mountain, where you have to play 7 minions of unique type, so probably going down to 6 or 5. They also showed Ashelon, right? The reward. So they're going to buff the reward. So maybe you get 3 adapts. That could be a possibility. They can make the reward cheaper. They could give this rush as well, so you could get like Wind Fury on there and all that stuff. So there's a lot of options they could do. They could give it taunt, although I don't like that one because that's an adapt option. Shouldn't gain a keyword that's part of the adapt because then you can't get it, right? So taunt shouldn't be given to it. It'd be more like rush because you can't adapt for rush. That's one of the 2 quests where they're buffing the reward. The other, Escape the Underfell, which again, they show the image and the reward. So probably play 5 temporary cards. Could be 4, but probably 5. They show the Rift. So the Rift, I guess, is either going to be cheaper or they'll allow you to basically put a card in there twice per turn, which I think would be insane. I don't think that's a good idea. The reward is not that bad. It's just a bit slow to get to. So maybe you make it cheaper to play, get it a little bit quicker to get done. Then yes, the portal gets going a lot faster and you can start healing and charging and taunting and all that good stuff. Yes, Toru getting a buff. Do we really want a card like Toru to be good? But it's laughably bad. I don't think they'll go back to where it was in their early development where it was 6 mana, but 8 mana, 7 mana, something like that I could see happening. But yeah, Toru getting a buff. Garishi Wasp, just give this card Rush. It's so sad without Rush. So you play your 6 mana 2/8, at least get 1 Stinger, right? That'd be pretty good. So that'd be my guess. This gets Rush. It's not completely terrible. It'd still be bad, but at least it's not as sad. Titanographer Osk will get a buff as well. I like to see it saying discover a random Titan ability. and like, yeah, be able to pick one rather than just hope to land on one. Although my arena opponent today got mind control when I had a giant minion on board and I was not happy. I lost. So nerf actually nerf this card, but no, it's getting a buff. You could make it cheaper, but I would love for it just to be a little bit more like consistent in what you can get. So Discover could really help with that. Underbrush Tracker getting buffed for Quest Rogue. This thing is laughably slow. I could see this going down to 5 because again, to complete your quest, at least as it stands, is shuffle 5, then it's 0. Like, I feel like that's pretty suitable. So yeah, maybe 5 mana, 6 mana. I feel like even that would be way too slow. Even at 5, it's probably too slow, but at least give it a shot. Opu the Unseen has been pretty unseen this expansion, so it's getting a buff, probably going to 5 mana. I've heard people like, why doesn't it have stealth? It's unseen. You could give it stealth, but why would anyone care? I don't know. But yeah, one of those two, right? It's cheaper or it gets stealth, so it's a bit more flavorful and all of that. We have Cloud Serpent, pretty random, but I guess nice for some of the quest rewards getting buffed. I guess it's cheaper, right? This is just going to be cheaper, so it's easier to combo and copy. I mean, you give it better stats, but I don't think you really care about that. I imagine this goes to like a 3 mana 3/3. And then lastly, the last buff, yes, our little guy, the Questing Assistant. There's 2 ways I feel like you can buff him. The way I kind of proposed, and I kind of like 1 mana 2/1, and he deals 2 damage, so he's cheaper. Plus, in the Demon Hunter quest, if he manages to attack again, you get an extra proc. Or he deals 3 damage to a minion, because 3 damage where cards like Shadow Step exist, probably not healthy for the game. Thank you, Rogue, for again restricting cards with my favorite card. But yeah, I feel like it's one or the other. They could make it straight up deal 3 damage, but again, as long as Shadow Step's out there, I can't see it happening. That would be a little bit spooky. So yeah, that's a lot of changes. Buff-wise, I feel like they hit pretty much everything you could want. Every horrendous quest, just like Druid and Mage weren't in there, but they're not that far off, and buffing those could be really spooky. So I kind of understand them not buffing those. But yeah, we'll see the extent of the changes tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think, if they didn't hit enough stuff on the nerf side. On the buff side, I feel like they didn't fully commit to the nerfs. Buff-wise, I feel like they did pretty much what you would hope. But yeah, we'll see how it all plays out, and if we're still just facing infinite armor decks and Protoss Mage until the end of time. I feel like that's probably going to happen. And Druid, spell damage, because Amir Driscoll and all that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this all in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.